Well, first and foremost, who will be goaltending tonight?
Subban will be in tonight. Yeah, he's feeling better. He's been fighting off a little bit of a sickness over the last few weeks, but he's starting to feel a lot better the last few days. He felt strong enough to back up the other night. That was a game that normally we would have wanted to start him against Providence, his old organization. But he's a great teammate. He definitely wasn't 100% that night. He wants to give us the best chance to win, and we felt that Hauser being healthy gave us the best chance to win, which we did, fortunately. So, but Sub's a couple more days is more rested and ready to go.
The other night, you said you shook up the lines a little bit. Will you keep those lines that you ended the game with?
I'll keep some of them. I'll keep Murray and Mersch and Malone together. It's just, you want to spread out the veterans. We have a lot of young forwards, right? And you want to spread out the vets to help the young forwards. But also, you do need some lines that drive your identity. And those three guys really are identity drivers for our team. How physical they play, how hard they play. So we're going to leave those guys together. But as you know, for me, I'm not married to lines. I never want to get so rigid that I have to keep lines together in a game. A lot of times I'm juggling and trying to find chemistry. If it's not immediately clicking, 20, 30 minutes in a game, I'll start juggling things and look to find some chemistry. And fortunately, I think we made a good decision as a staff to put those three together heading into the third period, and it paid dividends. But we need some of the young guys to keep growing their games so they can produce more 5-on-5 offense as well.
Do you keep that line, Mersch, Murray, and Malone together because of the veteran heavy lineup tonight?
Because we're playing a team with vets? No. I'm keeping them together for us, not because of our opponent. Yeah.
What is different about Bridgeport as opposed to Providence?
There's similarities between Bridgeport and Providence. Have some real talented young players. Bridgeport's young forward group is playing very, very good right now. So you got Ratu, who's a second rounder, but I coached against him going into that season. I thought he'd be top 10 overall for sure. And looking back at it, maybe he should have been. Ishkatov, I coached against him when he was on Russia. A really dynamic, dangerous player. Dufour is playing really good as a rookie. And then Bolduc and Savigny on defense as young players are very skilled. So they have a very young, skilled package of players, kind of like we do. But then they have a lot of veterans. They're over their vet limit. So they have guys like Chris Terry, I think Chris Terry's probably scored 300 goals in the American Hockey League in his career and played a couple hundred games in the NHL. So just as an example of one. So they have a really good mix of heavy, strong, smart veterans with real high-end, young, skilled players and good goaltending. So, we think that Providence looked like one of the best teams in the American League. And when we watch video, so does Bridgeport.
On Wednesday compared to your North Division games? What was different?
I mean, it's just stylistic differences, not good or bad. I mean, I think the North Division was the best division in the league last year. It remains to be seen if we are again this year, but Providence plays, it feels like an NHL game. They play more structured, less chaotic. It's aggressive and it's strong and physical, but it's structured physicality, not chaotic physicality. So it definitely felt like an NHL caliber style pace to the game. And so you have to handle their physicality and strength, but you also have to handle their structure. So the combination of that, is a little bit of a difference.
It seems like Mitch Elliott has kind of solidified a spot on the roster after not being there for opening night. What have you seen from him that you like?
Mitch Elliott, he's just grown so much since the beginning of last year, and it's a real credit to his work ethic and his competitiveness, how he goes about his craft every day. He meets with Webby a lot. They watch a lot of video. He puts a lot of extra time into his game. He's a little bit at times last year, early in the season, I'd compare him, he's like a wild stallion. And he's competitive and strong and fierce. And at times was maybe a little out of control. But you saw so many good things in there. If you could also help him know when it's time to be that stallion, but also know when it's time to be calm and composed, whether that's defensively or offensively. And I think he's just, as he's maturing and growing, I think he's meshing those worlds pretty good right now. When it's time to be real physically engaged and attacking and aggressive and nasty, he is. But when it's time to be more composed and break the puck out efficiently or live to fight another day, he's doing a better job of that. So I think what we also forget, because he came to us as a free agent, he's very young. He's a 1998. And, we signed him and Peter Tischke again for a reason. We think we believe they're young defensemen that were going like this. And we saw the growth in their game with our club last year. We wanted to come bring them back and can try to help them continue that growth.